my peeps, straight from the sewers, getting through to the streets. Well, they see me crazy Grace, bringing up the rear. I swear, we got to hold it down there, yeah. So there, now let me crack the bed, kick my feet up, turn the heat up, and spiggity smoke all the heat up. The kids are eat up, with the style that's the newest. My crew is bad, sir. Say it loud. Say it loud. Look here. Some people say we got a lot of malice. Some say it's a lot of love. But I say we won't quit moving until we get what we deserve. We've been buked and we've been scorned. We've been treated bad, talked about, as sure as you born. Just as sure as it takes 2 eyes to make a pair. Brother, we can't quit until we get our share. Say it loud. Say it loud. One more time. Say it loud. I wasn't on job.
Woo, welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk. It's Thursday. I'm in the big chair having a good time. Thanks for listening. Hey, Susan Flynn out there listening to me talk all that Barbie propaganda nonsense. Let me give you some update because, you know, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is in their convention, and it's the 56th National Convention, July 18th through the 23rd, and they are in Indiana somewhere. So I just got word from my soror, Victoria Christopher Murray, author of the newly minted best-selling book, First Ladies with Marie Benedict. So I have this book, and I have the other one, The Personal Secretary, too. But anyway, we've got some new sorors, some new honorary sorors, and this is what we do to honor some extraordinary women. And so this year's newly minted honorary sorors, and I'm so proud to have them as members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Justice of the Supreme Court, my new soror. Rashida Jones, president of MSNBC and a Hampton University graduate. Glad to have her in my sorority. Deborah Lee, past CEO of BET. Glad to have her in my sorority. Channing Dungey, first Black president of a major broadcast company, chairman and CEO of Warner Brothers Television Studios. Welcome, soror. Bonnie D. Jenkins, ambassador. Welcome, soror. Phyllis Newhouse, CEO of Extreme Solutions. Welcome, soror. And Tamika Catchings, Olympic gold medal winner and former star in the WNBA, including being Rookie of the Year. So welcome, sisters, to Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I am proud. So they're there. I think they got one more day, and then they make their way back home to all points. And God help you if you're anywhere trying to get on an airplane, airport with all them deltas. I'm just saying, listen, if you anywhere in Indianapolis, you trying to go here or there, God help you. Them deltas has taken over. So if you live in Indiana, wherever they are, Indiana, don't try to go downtown. Don't go eat. Don't go shop. Just part the waves and let the red go through. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it'll be to your advantage. Because them sisters gonna drop all kinds of money. Because they got all kinds of money, and they're gonna drink up all the liquor. So you might want to replenish after they leave. I'm just listen, I'm telling you what I know. I ain't been to a national conference in a very long time. You know how I feel about meetings. Everybody knows how I feel about meetings. And I'm so grateful that there are sisters who don't feel the way that I do, who actually want to go to meetings, get it done. Because otherwise, you know, because I can't do it. I don't half want to sit in the meetings that I have to sit in. So I'm gonna just tell you right now. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I don't like you know, I don't like meetings. So there you go. So yeah, so all the sorors are posting up all these new deltas, and it's very nice to sort of see. So it's so nice. And you know, the new ones, they love to wear all the paraphernalia. You know what I mean? Like everywhere they go, they got on red and white. Buttons, pins, coats, hats, bags, socks, shoes. I remember being new. I had all that stuff too. I get it. 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 So anyway, so that's the news. That's the news. That's the news. And that's some good news at that. So I done had enough of oh God. Let me tell you something about these classified docs. I've had enough. I don't hear anything else about it. Does everybody have classified? Everybody who has classified docs at the house, raise their hand. Seriously. Let's go through Congress one by one. You got some at your house? You got some at your house? You got some? And then just have a what do you call it? A pardon day. Just a pardon day, and say, everybody with classified docs at their house, bring them over here, put them down. We're not gonna ask you no questions. That's really what I wanna. That's really what I wanna say, because I don't know what else to say. We're not willing to we're not willing to do anything other than what? I don't know what else we will do. We're not gonna arrest people. We're not gonna throw people in jail. I mean, we could find them. I mean, we could find them. We could kick them off committees. We could, censor them. I don't know. And I listen, I'm not trying to make light of this, because having classified documents is just not a good idea. I think the body has to decide how to deal with classified documents, and make sure that everybody understands what classified documents are. And there must be some misunderstanding. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump. He deliberately took stuff, and they asked him for it nicely, and all he had to do was just turn stuff over. So he created this whole firestorm, because he could have easily said, oh, my bad, I didn't know. When they packed up stuff, they just packed up stuff. I don't even know what this is. But he doubled down on it like an idiot, and created this firestorm for himself. They was trying to give him an off-ramp. I ever since Harry said off-ramp, I've been using off-ramp. They've been giving him an off-ramp, and he didn't take it. I like, you have to be some kind of new stupid not to take the off-ramp that they're giving you. I don't know what you think they was gonna aha you about, because they wasn't doing that. They didn't aha you. I have stuff in my hair. Yes, I do. They did not hire you. So I don't know. So I think there has to be some more protocols around and around classified documents and who have access, and what is classified documents. Because I'm just, this is just, it just seems like it's a waste of my time. I just feel like it's a waste of the American time. And I think it has real significance, but it's so convoluted that it's just like, okay, can everybody just give up their damn documents and be done with it? And let's start all over again with, okay, no one gets to have these documents. And let me tell you why. And this is what classified means. And if you have, and just have all the aides understand that they are responsible for making sure that nobody walks out of here with damn classified documents. Even if you have to make the boxes pink or some old thing, it's, in the spirit of Barbie, make classified documents pink, so there's no mistaking. So if something's classified, then it has to be pink. And then if it gets declassified, then you have to put a different color sticker on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Barring the stuff that Trump did, who deliberately took stuff. So I'm not I'm not giving him an out. I'm giving everybody else a out because Biden not sitting around like, oh, let me pack up these classified documents and put them at the house. I don't think that's how that went down. I don't know. It's just too much. I can't. We need to stop having these conversations. Uh, I'm just gonna do. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say. Let's move on. Come on, country. Let's move on to the next thing. I think there was a shooting in New Zealand recently, yesterday, and somebody said, "Are Americans in New Zealand?" And funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I thought it was funny. So, at least 2 killed in New Zealand construction site shooting. I mean, you don't hear about that kind of stuff. So a gunman kills 2 in Auckland before the Women's World Cup opening. Now, did he shoot these people because he's trying to get ahead of the Women's World Cup and just being an asshole? Did he shoot these people because it's rare there? And you know what they're going to do? They're going to really crack down now. Whew. So a rare multiple shooting in the center of Auckland just hours before the opening of the Women's World Cup rattled the city as tens of thousands gathered to watch New Zealand play Norway in the first game of the tournament. New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins outlined details of the attack in a hastily called news conference, confirming that 3 people had died, including the gunman, and several others were injured. So emergency services rushed to the city center business district just after 7 a.m. local time yesterday, which is today, after reports that a man armed with a pump-action shotgun had opened fire on a construction site. Why? So he moved through the building site, discharging the firearm as he went. And upon reaching the upper levels of the building, the man contained himself in an elevator. Shots were fired, and he was located a short time later. So news footage showed heavily armed police dressed in body armor and carrying rifles flocking to the scene and cordoning off swaths of the business district. Hipkins said the actions of the police officers who ran into the gunfire straight into harm's way in order to save the lives of others was nothing short of heroic. New Zealand Police Commissioner Andrew Coster said one officer was shot as he attempted to engage the gunman, and 4 civilians had moderate to critical injuries. Coster said the suspect was under home detention orders, but had an exemption to work at the construction site where the shooting took place. So this was weird. So was he beefing with somebody? And the incident was believed to be related to his work there. So the man had a family violence history. But there was nothing to suggest that he would present a high level risk. He did not have firearms license. New Zealand police said the shooting did not pose a national security risk, as officials confirmed the Women's Cup opening ceremony and first game would go ahead as planned. In a statement, FIFA said it extends its deepest condolences to the families and friends of the victims. And FIFA has been informed that this was an isolated incident that was not related to football operations, and the opening match tonight at Eden Park will proceed as planned, the statement added. However, plans to show the match on a big screen at a fan zone in downtown Auckland was scrapped out of deep respect to those who lost their lives. And the mayor's office and Auckland Council said in a statement the fan festival will open from midday Friday. And the statement added. So tourism in New Zealand also canceled a welcome event schedule for the opening match because the location is within the area cordoned off by police as they investigate the shooting. So the Central Business District in Auckland is the commercial heart of the city, a base for blue chip international firms, and the gateway to the famous Harborside, which is lined with restaurants and bars and home to the main ferry terminal. So shootings are relatively rare in New Zealand, especially following the introduction of strict gun laws in 2019 after a mass shooting in Christchurch. left 50 people dead and led to strict new laws curbing firearms being passed in a matter of days. So Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown told New Zealand Public Radio, RNZ, that the shooting was a dreadful thing to happen in our city at a time when the rest of the world's watching us over the football. New Zealand will face Norway at Eden Park in the opening match on Thursday, which is today, in one of the world's biggest sporting events, co-hosted by New Zealand and neighbor Australia. Players from the United States women's national soccer team, USWNT, also addressed the shooting at their inaugural press conference. Unfortunately, in the U.S., I feel like we've dealt with this far too many times. Forward Lynn Williams told reporters, looking over the cordon, Nisha, an American tourist who had traveled to Auckland to watch the World Cup, described the shooting to CNN as incredibly tragic, especially at the start of the World Cup. There's so many people coming in. There's so much excitement. Nisha, who declined having her surname published, said news of the shooting surprised her. In places like New Zealand, you just assume a level of sort of safety, right? She said. So places like that they feel this very acutely because it's not common to them to have people coming in and shooting at other people in public spaces. So, but the game will go on, and because that's a lot of money, you can't blow that. So they're gonna play the game, and I wonder if they have the game on at Cannon. You know, Cannon is the that English pub in New Haven, or mirrored after English pub, football, soccer, all the things. So I bet they have it on today. So anyway, so the person was killed who did the shooting. And I guess they'll get to the heart of it. He probably was a disgruntled employee. I mean, why else would you go back to the place where you work with a gun, you know? So anyway, that's what's happening in New Zealand. When I saw it in my Facebook feed, and somebody said, "Are Americans over there?" Because what they were alluding about was the Americans do that kind of thing. Like, that's unique to us. And honest to God, it is. I mean, we just shoot people. You know, we walk into bars, stores, movie theaters, sporting events. We just shoot everybody. You know, we just shoot people. So, you know, we have a gun sickness in this country. I know, don't come for me, NRA, because I will fight back. I will bark right back at you. Because you can't tell me you satisfied and you accept the fact that people can walk into schools and kill children. Not one time, not two times, not three times, a bunch of times. You good with that? So I was like, all right, be good with that. But don't be mad at me if I say we have a gun sickness in this country. Honest to God, gun sickness. And until we are prepared to sort of deal with that in real meaningful ways, then, you know, we're going to keep having these, you know, mass shootings, which is what the number one killer of kids, not disease, guns, gun violence. So anyway, I saw this piece on the Daily Beast. Ta-Nehisi Coates crashes a school board meeting over removing his book from class. You know what? That's what all these authors should do. They should just roll the hell up into these school board meetings, you know, in the states where people are doing this dumb banning books like they stupid. You know, South Carolina school board meeting in which community members railed against an African-American culture writer's award-winning memoir about a racial injustice, featured a special guest appearance, Ta-Nehisi Coates, the famed author in question. On Monday evening, the Lexington-Richland District 5 School Board met to discuss the outrage concerning Coates' 2015 nonfiction bestseller, Between the World and Me, which has repeatedly caused political literary mayhem among reactionary right-wing communities and been placed on book ban lists. this whole book banning stuff just seems, it just feels like I'm in some kind of old movie or something from the 20s. So in February, after getting approved from higher ups, an AP language teacher at Chapin High School conducted a lesson involving Between the World and Me. The book, written as an essay to Coates' son to prepare him for the life he will live as a Black man, details personal accounts of Coates' life and his firsthand experience with racism. However, the lesson was shut down and the book was removed from the course after the students filed a complaint claiming the book made them feel guilty for being white. Now, I don't know. I don't understand these white kids feeling guilty and their parents co-signing that guilty mess for being white. No one is asking you to feel guilty for being white. This is how you learn. This is how we fall down the international rabbit hole of stupidity, because other people come over here and they understand our culture and our history, and then we over here messing around. We don't want white kids to feel bad about being white, but they benefit from whiteness all the time. You benefit, but you don't want to know how you benefit from the whiteness. You don't want to hear how your whiteness has overtaken the world and white supremacy reigns supreme. You don't want to hear about that, but you want to benefit from your whiteness. You benefit from your whiteness. You know what? Sit out of class then. They want to take every book that talks about any Black person's experience of racism in this country. Seriously? That's what you want to do? So anyway, according to the footage obtained by CBS 19, a slew of people wearing blue rallied in support for the book and for academic freedom during the board hearing. And Coates sat in the back of the room next to the teacher who assigned the book as a sign of solidarity. What matters most to me is that my students have the ability to hear 6 or 7 opinions on one topic and come up with their own thesis, supported with evidence, and come up with an independent conclusion, says Superintendent Dr. Akil Ross. Sometimes there's going to be topics you agree with, and there's going to be topics you disagree with. Academic freedom says, even if you disagree, there'll be another opinion presented to our children. Our democracy needs that. It damn sure does. But if these dummies want to roll this way, go start your own school and go do it. The Taliban is more to your liking. You would like the Taliban's stance on education. Go there. Go start your Taliban school, because that's the level of crazy you operating from. So PEN America, a literary human rights organization, called the book's removal an outrageous act of government censorship and a textbook example of how educational gag orders corrupt free inquiry in the classroom. But these people don't want free inquiry. They want to be taught that people weren't slaves, they were guest workers, that women don't want the right to choose what is in the best interest of their bodies, and that women have no business in politics. They want to choose that narrative. And it's all connected. It's just all crazy. So anyway, we cannot. I hate these little ads that pop up all the time. It's getting on my nerves. Okay, let me see. Let me get back to it. So anyway, we cannot become critical thinkers. We cannot become critical thinkers without being uncomfortable in some way, one student declared, while directly addressing the Lexington Richland board. If students can't learn these things in a safe space like school, how are we meant to make good decisions and think critically? The board did not conduct a vote after public discussion. They didn't, because they thought they were put on blast, and so they don't want to look like just stupid. In a statement to the Daily Beast, Lexington Richmond District wrote that it is important to understand that Between the World and Me is not banned in our school district. Superintendent Ross is committed to providing additional training on how to use books like Between. What do you mean how to use the book? The teacher was using the book in the absolute appropriate way, referring to international baccalaureate courses and policies on teaching about controversial and sensitive issues. This training will cover how to determine if the material is appropriate. Are you kidding me? Stop this foolishness. Just stop it. So Coates did not respond to the Daily Beast request for a comment on Tuesday. I don't understand this mess. It's like we're going, you know what should happen? The kids that don't want to learn this stuff, separate them out. If their parents don't want them to, if their parents don't want them to learn any of this, put them in a different class and let them learn something else. Basket weaving or something. Oh no, that's rooted in blackness, not basket weaving. Something that's white. I don't know what it is, but do something white. I don't know. It just seems a level of crazy. Crazy. Anyway, why are they cutting his hair? I'm looking at I'm just looking at this. I'm like, anyway, I'll leave it alone. Not my kid. You want to cut his hair, cut his hair. I just think people are just a little high strung. I don't I'm so outdone by the amount of control that people want to have over people's intellect and women's bodies and all the things. I'm trying to make sense of how we are coming back around to these things and what is it that they hope to achieve. Like, what is the end game? That does not bring peace, because people are going to fight back against oppression. I mean, they just are. So I don't understand what this is about. This level of control that they want to exact on people. And so many things that we fought long and hard for are being rolled back. And it's unconscionable to me, that women can't have the right to choose what they do, what they want to do for reproductive health, banning of books, not offering AP classes in African American studies, doing away with affirmative action as it pertains to college admissions, and California is a good example. They already did this, and their admissions suffered, and they're still trying to figure out ways how to get people of color to be in these schools. It's just ridiculous. And it's as if 400 years it was just a dream or something, that, oh, sure, that was a bad thing. Sure, we stole people and harmed them and maimed them. We threw their children to alligators, and we raped them and we beat them and we took away their culture. And we made them breed each other and all this other kind of stuff, and said, oh, you're not even fully human. You're 3/5 human, and we're not going to allow you the right to read and write. We're not going to allow you the right to gather. So we're going to curtail your movement in every which way we can. And although you're 13% of the population, you're going to be 70% of the prison population. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, the singular goal is just white supremacy, and I don't know why people are willing to accept that. Men and women of good conscience are willing to accept that. And, it does not take away your culture or your history if you fight for somebody else's culture and history. It is all intertwined and interconnected. And some of it is bad and some of it is good. And you have to be on the history is going to gauge this harshly, because the stories are being written now about what this time is, and people are going to be written harshly about. I get it. I get it. And it's unfortunate. But at the same time, and I've been listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about how difficult it is to be alive, to be a human and alive at this very moment. Like, it took an extraordinary amount of magic and evolution and science to get each and every one of us alive at this particular time. And so I say, and I always say, that whoever's alive right now, we were meant for this time. And because we were meant for the times, we have everything we need intellectually, spiritually, and soulfully to prepare us for this time, even though it feels like we don't. But we do. We are made for these times. Those of us that are standing, we are made for these times. And because we're made for these times, all the tools that are necessary, we have them. And that all the problems of the world can be solved at this particular moment. We can solve problems. We're just choosing not to. And yes, it's complicated, but we are built for complexity. So I'm going to dip out a little early today, Harry, because I want to get to the press conference over at the Q House for the New Haven Symphony Orchestra launching their new person, musical director. But Harry didn't waste no time to cut me off. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Aaron Washington, Black Wall Street Festival, tomorrow, 10:15. I'll see y'all.